very good evening to you and welcome to our primetime news. I'm Sandaru Ferdinando.
I'm Aishwarya Pinto. Let's take a look at the headlines.
President instructs prisoners who engaged in a fast be provided with speedy solutions. Presidential Commission of Inquiry says it does not accept the objections made by former President Rajapaksa. 3 customs officers apprehended over obtaining a bribe remanded until 30th of this month. Minister Faiza Mustafa says legal action will be taken against local government bodies that fail to repay loans.
President Maithripala Sirisena presided over the Polonnaruwa District Development Committee meeting today.
Public representatives, government officers and others were present for the meeting that took place at the Polonnaruwa District Secretariat today. The President's Media Division said that President Sirisena pledged to provide a paddy storage facility to Madhurigiriya. President Sirisena had also pledged to provide electricity generators to the hospitals and water treatment plants in the Polonnaruwa district.
You must summon all the parliamentarians and provincial councillors from this district to this meeting. I made a decision here today. As per the decision, the MPs and provincial ministers and the councillors must be summoned for next week's meeting. There are funds to address the shortcomings in the agriculture and irrigation sectors. We need to address the shortcomings and renovate the canals and waterways in the district. We also need to establish a drug prevention unit at every institution in the Polonnaruwa district and the country.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry to investigate and inquire into serious acts of fraud, corruption and abuse of power, state resources and privileges today rejected the objections raised by the lawyers of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Former President Rajapaksa was summoned before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry once again today. A group including Minister Susil Premajayantha, former Presidential Secretary Lalit Veeratunga, former Secretary of Ministry of Mass Media Charitha Herath were present before the Commission today to provide evidence.
Evidence was recorded by the Presidential Commission of Inquiry today at the BMICH for the second consecutive day. A situation was reported when police officers refused to allow Western Provincial Councillor Upali Kodikara to enter the floor in which the Commission was recording evidence. Today, the Commission recorded evidence over the non-payment of 60 million rupees due to the independent television network for political advertisements aired during the presidential election. Several MPs were also present today.
Objections were raised that High Court judges cannot be involved in the Commission, and since Maithripala Sirisena is involved as the aggrieved party, objections were raised over a commission appointed by him also reporting to him. It is like he is making the appointment and he himself is hearing the case. The objections were rejected. We will keep our rights when moving to the Court of Appeal. However, you will not air this. You do not air the statements. I made a statement yesterday. However, it was not aired. There is media censorship. So under that, if I make a statement, you will not air it. So if I do not make a statement, it will make matters easier for you. What happened during our time? We were called and spoken to. You criticized us. There is no need to mention any names here, but I can show some by directing my eyes to the mics that are being held here. Have we spoken against that? We have never spoken against that. We have not told you to put this and that or given you the headlines. The freedom that existed back then is no more. There is no freedom of speech. They can do whatever they want, and whatever we say is never published. Certain companies have provided advertisements. If there is any payment that is due, it should be obtained from those companies. The party has not made any payment. The advance payment was made by the various sponsors. They provide the funds and the committee gather the funds and they make the payments. They will identify them after gathering evidence. In my statement, I said that we have a committee. Talasala Prima was in the media committee. However, there was a large group with him. No, I'm not disappointed. I'm carrying out the task vested with me.
The 3 customs officers who were arrested when obtaining a bribe of 125 million rupees were remanded until the 30th. They were remanded after they were produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrate, Gihan Pilapitiya.
The 3 suspects were produced in court by the Director General of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, Dilrukshi Das Wickramasinghe. Although a group of lawyers represented the suspects, they did not make an application for bail on behalf of their clients. The magistrate announced that the location of the prison to hold the suspects will be decided subsequently. Dilrukshi Das Wickramasinghe said in court that since this case could be solved soon, support from defence lawyers will be required. She sought the permission of court to deposit the bribe of 125 million rupees at a bank today. Permission was granted for this request by the magistrate. Wickramasinghe informed court that 3 notes of the 5,000 rupee denomination will be used for the purpose of obtaining fingerprints of the suspects and the rest will be deposited in a bank.
වැටලීමක් සිදු කරා පැමිණිල්ලක් ලැබුණා ඒ පැමිණිල්ල මත තමයි මේ වැටලීම කරේ right දැන් මේ වැටලීම ගැන විතරක් කතා කරන්න වෙනේව ගැන කතා කරන්න ප්ලීස් හරි නෑ එහෙම එකක් අපිට දන්නේ අපිට එහෙම විමර්ශනය වෙලා විමර්ශනය අහුවෙලා නෑ අපේ රහසික ඔයා දන්නවනේ පනතේ 17 වෙනි ගන්තිය යටතේ විමර්ශනයක් පවත්වනගෙන යන අවස්ථාවකදී අපිට විමර්ශන කටයුතු සම්බන්ධව කියන්න විදිහක් නැහැ. සාමාන්‍ය අධිකරණයේ සාමාන්‍ය සැකකරුවෙක් වශයෙන් තමයි අපි සලකන්නේ. අපි වෙනස් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ගාණ ලොකු නැහැ කියලා වෙනසක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
According to the inscriptions in Godavaya and archaeological excavations, customs activities began from the day of King Gajava. Sri Lanka Customs Department commenced in 1909. Customs Ordinance for Sri Lanka Customs was introduced in 1869. With 51 amendments, the present Customs Ordinance for Sri Lanka Customs is 142 years old. One of the main responsibilities of customs is to generate revenue to the state, facilitate international trade and social conservation. In addition, it is a responsibility of customs to be vigilant over persons and activities that may pose a threat to national security. As per the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka Customs provides 0.60% of the taxes earned by the country. According to the annual report issued by the Ministry of Finance, fiscal conditions in tax revenue collected by the government from January 2015 to April 2015 is 360.6 billion rupees. However, a shortage is also recorded in the money supplied to the government by the customs as per estimates. Customs media spokesperson Leslie Gamini said that the Sri Lanka Customs are also conducting an investigation in connection to the 3 officials.
රේකුව ඈත අතීතයේ ඉඳන්ම පවතින තාම වැදගත් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවක් හැටියට තමයි අපි හඳුන්වන්නේ.
We consider customs to be a very important department that has been operating for a long period of time. Fraud had taken place since the inception. To be honest, if the customs officials are operating in an unethical manner, it is a serious issue. As per the information, this can be considered as the largest raid that has been carried out. Such an incident of bribery or corruption has not previously been recorded. We, the customs department, as a state department, are prepared to provide our fullest support with regard to these investigations.
Regu departmentuව අපි රාජ්‍ය දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවක් හැටියට එම විමර්ශන කටයුතු සඳහා අවශ්‍ය ඕනෑම සහායක් ලබා දීමට සූදානම් බව ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න කැමැතියි.
There are wrongdoers everywhere. Thieves aren't limited to one nationality, religion, caste or color. That is why the law is there, why prisons exist, to prosecute wrongdoers. Therefore, anyone, anywhere can say that someone is backing them up. However, we praise the steps carried out by the Director General of Bribery and Corruption Commission. We need to look at the positive side of anything. If there are any accusations, we need to investigate into it irrespective of who the accused are. I feel this government will definitely do this.
Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Government Faiza Mustafa says that legal measures will be taken against local government institutions that failed to repay funds obtained from the Local Loan Development Fund. Participating at a media briefing in Colombo, the minister added that a subcommittee will be appointed to look into the issues that have arisen ahead of the provincial council elections. Political parties have raised issues and made recommendations over the demarcation process. The President and the Prime Minister have discussed the matter and have appointed a subcommittee to find a solution to the matter. In addition, I have the power to make amends to the demarcation under the Act through a 5-member committee. In the future, that committee too will be appointed and issues surrounding the demarcation will be resolved so that we hold an election by March. Until we reach an agreement on the demarcation, we will not be able to have an election.
The minister went on to say that cases will be filed against local government bodies that have failed to repay the loans.
We have noticed that many have obtained loans but have failed to repay the loans. But we continue to provide them with loans. At times, when we provide funds for a venture capital program, we will not receive the money back. However, most of the local government bodies assume that failing to repay the funds is not a serious matter. We need to step away from that trend. I have ordered for cases to be filed against all the local bodies that have failed to make the repayments.
Welcome back. The fast commenced by inmates with suspects linked with the LTTE entered its 5th day today. It was also reported that civilian organisation representatives had also commenced a Satyagraha campaign this morning urging for the release of these inmates.
Over 200 inmates commenced this fast on Monday, urging that they be released. Minister of Justice and Buddha Sasana Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, speaking to News First, commented on the matter.
We have informed them that we need around 2 to 3 weeks to discuss this matter with the TNA MPs and the opposition leader, as well as the President and the Prime Minister, in order to provide them with a solution. In the meantime, we hope to investigate all the charges made against these inmates and obtain a report through the Edges Department. Then, within 2 to 3 weeks, we will be able to determine what sort of solution can be provided to these inmates. The President and the Prime Minister have instructed me to provide them with a fair solution. Yesterday, the minister said that a solution will be given before the end of the year, but the inmates did not accept that. Today, the minister had spoken to the president over the phone and discussed the matter. The opposition leader too had spoken to the president. The president had ordered to commence the process by the end of the month and complete the task before the 7th of November.
Various factions have supported the cause of the inmates, and this morning a fast unto death commenced opposite the Munishwar Kovil in Jaffna. Tamil political parties, relatives of the inmates and others were present. Persons who demonstrated over the matter in Kilinochchi handed over a memorandum to the district secretary. This demonstration was organized by the TNA. The district secretary said that he will present the memorandum to the president for a solution to be sought.
They were arrested as political prisoners after the political war. They need to be pardoned. The Attorney General needs to provide advice on this matter. There needs to be a legal solution to this. It will be disappointing if the government neglects this matter. This is an issue in the hearts of the Tamil people. The Prevention of Terrorism Act needs to be withdrawn. That came along with the UN. Therefore, it is sad that not a single Sinhalese leader has come forward to pardon these inmates.
Several organizations, including the Campaign to Free Political Prisoners, the National Movement to Free Political Prisoners and the Committee to Protect the Rights of Prisoners, commenced a Satyagraha campaign opposite the Valikada prison. The All Ceylon Hindu Congress requests the President to release these inmates before the Deepavali festival. A communique by the All Ceylon Hindu Congress says that even though a Hindu priest had said that he was forced to make a statement, he had been imprisoned. The All Ceylon Hindu Congress, which says that it had attached a copy of the JMO report over the incident that took place in 2002, adds that the priest is being detained and has been assaulted.
The fasting prisoners issue, this country has reached a critical situation now. I demand our government should arrive at this situation, indirectly or directly bringing the communities together. I will start from here. So I believe the President will take a right decision in a couple of days' time before the situation already critical reach more critical than this.
This could be your child. Let's protect them for the happiness of our children. News1st had undertaken an initiative aimed to ensure the protection of children and build them a better future.
This island-wide awareness campaign, organized by Newsfirst together with the Ministry of Law and Order and Prison Reform, entered its 12th day today. The campaign was worked off today in Polonnaruwa and Navalapitiya.
This could be your child. Let's protect them for our children.
අනුකම්පාවක් ආදරයක් දුකක් නැතිකමද මේ මනුෂ්‍යවද කියලා හිතනවා.
The public was made aware of child protection at the premises of the Kadruwela public fair with the participation of the youth who joined hands in this initiative. Many with hearts filled with love and compassion towards children volunteered at this campaign today as well. They joined with the campaign with homemade placards and banners. The campaign commenced its journey today with the participation of police officers, government officials and volunteers from the Kadruwela town in Polonnaruwa.
මේ වගේ දේවල් ආයි සිදු නොවෙන්න වීදි බහැලා හරි කමන්නේ සාධාරණයක් ඉෂ්ට කරගන්න ජනතාව පෙළ ගැහෙන්න ඕන ඔයාලත් එක්ක. නෙළුම් ගහ නියම කරන්නම ඕන අනිවාර්යෙන්ම.
The people of Ginigathena also extended their support to the campaign dedicated for the happiness of our children. Many joined hands with this campaign in Navalapitiya as well.
සිරස ආයතනයට ගොඩාක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා මේ වගේ වැඩසටහනක් ගෙනල්ලා මහජනතාව දැනුවත් කරන එක.
The awareness campaign, which took place at the Anuruddha Kumara National School in Navalapitiya, provided an understanding on the importance of protecting children. For the happiness of our children, a campaign aimed at raising awareness on child protection was extended massive support by the people of Gampala.
This could be your child. Let's protect them for our children.
The UN World Humanitarian Summit Global Consultations held today saw over 900 global leaders come together to shape discussions that emerged from regional consultations to frame outcomes for the World Humanitarian Summit, which is to be hosted by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in Istanbul, Turkey in May 2016. The purpose of the summit is to set forward-looking agenda for the humanitarian action to collectively address future humanitarian challenges.
The third and final day of the United Nations World Humanitarian Summit Global Consultation got underway in Geneva, Switzerland today.
All people on the move.
The Capital Maharaja Organization Limited was invited by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs to be represented in Geneva at this summit's global consultation.
The Nansen initiative to talk to us and give us his open remarks.
What is really important in that qualification is the word people. Well, sometimes you call them refugees, sometimes call them migrants, but none of those is an identity. It is a situation that most of the time people do not choose to get into, and when they are in, that is a situation that most of them would like to get out of, and yearning for recovering to what they've lost. And among the many things that they have lost, maybe the most important thing is their human dignity.
Now, 2/3 of the world refugees are Muslims, and 2/3 of the world displacement are Muslims. And it is absolutely essential that all humanitarian actors that are present on the ground are able to work together, to plan together, and to coordinate their action. The truth is that this divide has not yet been bridged. And this cannot be just with a Western approach being translated into others and then telling the others, you come and do like us. This needs to make us redesign the way we also do business and the way we coordinate our business, to take into account diversity, to take into account different cultures, different perspectives, provided the values are the same, the humanitarian values that we all share and are common to all religions and to all cultures, namely of humanity, impartiality, neutrality in conflict situations, and of course of humanity and human dignity in natural disasters.
The Secretary-General has made it clear that he expects leadership at the highest level by heads of state and government for this critical endeavour. The summit will be an opportunity for all stakeholders to announce concrete initiatives and innovation to set humanitarian action on a new trajectory, not only saving lives, but providing hope for every global citizen of a life of safety, dignity and resilience. Building on the phenomenal skill, dedication and courage of humanitarians today and over the years, the generosity of donors as never before, the strength and resilience of the affected peoples, be in no doubt. Our world is full of possibilities and opportunities to create and deliver a safer, more peaceful, more prosperous, more stable and sustainable future for everyone. Millions of people affected by crises and disasters depend on us all. We will not fail them.
Siobhan Daniel, Group Director of the Capital Maharaj Organization, was the host of the World Humanitarian Summit Global Consultation.
Safe journey home. Take care.
The inauguration ceremony of the 109th annual sessions of the Institute of Engineers, Sri Lanka, was held at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall this morning.
Minister of Megapolis and Western Development, Engineer Patali Champika Ranavika, was the chief guest of the event.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the time I seek the mandate of the people to serve my motherland, I have very clearly crafted my long-term vision of transforming Sri Lanka into a smart, soft and super country for our future generation to live happily, peacefully and prosperously. In realization of this dream, undoubtedly we need to build smart systems, soft people and super infrastructure. The proposed urban development and megapolis initiative should extend beyond the mere notion of building structures or creating isolated urban enclave, but well-established and balanced ecosystem which supports socio-cultural, economic and spiritual well-being of all citizens. We shall make sure that the future urban Lanka shall be holistic and smart, but not to be skewed, irresponsible and self-centered.
Secretary to the Ministry of Defence Karunasena Hettiarachchi was awarded with an honorary life membership by the Institute of Engineers Sri Lanka.
The habeas corpus petitions filed by the wives of the army officers arrested over the disappearance of journalist Prageeth Ekneligoda was taken up before Court of Appeal President Vijith Malalgoda today.
Further to the notices issued by the Court of Appeal on the 9th of this month, the Inspector General of Police appeared before court today. The wives of the arrested army officers stated that their spouses were not involved in the Ekneligoda disappearance. They further said that the CID had arrested them and are holding them in custody. Court ordered the respondents to file their statement of objections. The case will next be taken up on the 19th of November.
As the prayers prayed for in these petitions impact the habeas corpus application of Prageet Ekneligoda, on behalf of his wife, we have made an application to court to make us an intervenient party. This will be considered on the 19th of
November. What we can witness is there are numerous hurdles and that there are many attempts to creep through the law.
Meanwhile, UPFA Putlam District MP Sanath Nishanta, who is suspected of being involved in bombing a police station and attempting to commit a murder in 1999, was remanded yet again today by Chilla Magistrate Heshanta Dimel. The magistrate, who initially ordered the MP to be released on cash bail of 25,000 rupees and two sureties of 250,000 rupees, ordered that the MP be remanded once again as income statements were not submitted by the sureties.
It was ordered that income documents showing 2.5 lakhs be submitted. However, the sureties were not ready with the documents. So an order was made to remand him again. We will be able to get him released upon submitting the surety bail.
The International Forestry and Environment Symposium, organised by the Department of Forestry and Environmental Science and the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, is being held for the 20th consecutive year. The International Forestry and Environment Symposium is the premier event where researchers, academia, professionals, policymakers and the industry meet to network and discuss and learn about the latest developments in environment and forestry sectors. Newsfirst PV Vijayawardhana delivered a speech on the role of media in the enhancement of environmental awareness at the inaugural session. Before we wrap up the news tonight, we leave you with an incident that transpired at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry today. I'm Aishwarya Pinto for News First.
And I'm Sandra Ferdinando. Do take care and good night.